Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we'll be looking at some redstone components for a new series that I'm going to be creating, which is the redstone series. So I'll be creating a playlist which you can find on my channel. So the video we're doing here is we're just going to be naming all the basic inputs, outputs and processing units for everything. So this would be basically every redstone thing there is, so like from buttons to dispensers and droppers and stuff like that. So we'll be naming every redstone object and thing we'll be using in our redstone builds. So first up we have the input mechanism. So these are what will give off a redstone signal, so you can actually power all of your stuff. So to begin with, we have the basic button, which gives off a short pulse of redstone signal. So this would just give off a pulse like this. Next up we have the lever, which can just give a toggleable redstone output. So when you have it on, the redstone output will be on. When you have it off, the redstone output will be turned off permanently. So next up we have the redstone torch. This one, it is actually toggleable if you do it right. So you can have this, and if you place the redstone torch on the side of the block, and you power that block, or you power the block that the redstone torch is sitting on, the redstone torch can actually be turned off, so it is toggleable in a way. If you get rid of that, and it will actually turn off and unpower redstone. Next off we have the chest, which you can see has an item in it, and can have a redstone output taken from that. Stop there. Next off we have the pressure plate. So the pressure plate can detect an entity when it is on it. It's just like that. So when an entity walks on it, or if an entity is on the pressure plate, it will give off a redstone signal for as long as that entity stays on the plate, the pressure plate. Next off we have the comparator, which can detect, and it can give an output at the same time. So this can basically get an input, process it, then output. So, and then it will give off a redstone signal. But comparators are a little bit tricky, and we'll probably do a whole video on that in the near future. Next off we have the detector rail. So this can give an output, and the only way it can be detected via the comparator, which we'll get into that, like I said. So the detector rail can detect things like minecart chests, minecart hoppers, that have entities inside them. So if we put one item inside of that, it will be perfect like that. Then if we put a minecart hopper on, it will do exactly the same. So we chuck an item in there, it will detect that. Next we have the redstone block, which is basically just an infinite power source. So, source of power I mean. So this will just stay powered, there's no turning off, there's no toggling it or anything like that. It will just be an infinite power source. Next we have the tripwire hook, which just detects entities standing on this line. So if we stand above here, it will just turn off. We stand off. So it can work with all other entities as well. So as long as it's staying on that line, it will give an output on these blocks. So we can have redstone here, it will give an output. If we put a redstone torch there, we'll turn it off, because it will toggle it. Next we have the daylight sensor, which can actually be a toggleable power source depending on the time of day and what you have it set to. So currently it's set to day mode, which you can tell by when it's white. So now that it's day, it will actually be off, so it will actually give power. So if it's daytime and it's set to day, whatever it's set to, that's what will give it an output. So it's set to day currently, and it's on day mode. So when it detects when it's on day, and it gives an output. If we set it to nighttime, just like so, it will actually turn to off mode, because it is not on so like day mode, so it will not detect that. So if we switch to night mode, it will detect that it's night mode, and it will turn on. So now if we switch it back to day, it won't turn on because it knows it's not night. Next we have the hopper, which is an interesting one because it can have an input just through the top of that, which you can really see, and it will have an output through the bottom funnel bit here, and it will output it into a chest or anything you want to. So next up you have your output slash processing. So this is things that do something, or they process and give an output. So this is a piston, so you can have a piston, or you can have a basic sticky piston. So the piston pushes blocks just like this, and will not pull them back just like this. They can push, their maximum is 12. They can push up to 12 blocks, and then they can't push any more than that. Next up we have sticky piston, which can actually push blocks like this and then pull them back down. So essentially the blocks stick to that piston. Next up we have the observer, which detects anything on its face. So like this, we place a bit of redstone here, it will detect that, and it will send a signal out this little redstone bit here, and it's just going to power this block, which powers the redstone lamp. So anytime that face of it gets an update, it will actually get an output. So if you do it really fast, it will just continuously get an output. And this is how people make these observer clocks, if I place it the right way, because it's constantly detecting each one passing on. So next up we have the repeater, which is actually one that you can put a delay on. So if you power it, it gives an output just like this. But you can also, if you have time this one, so watch how quick this turns off. Now watch again. It was a little bit longer, but not very noticeable, but it does matter very precisely when building redstone stuff. So because we measure this as ticks, so I think it's about 4 ticks is 1 second. So this is 1 second, and this is 1/4 of a second. So you can toggle that with a repeater. Now when you have it like this, so redstone, and then redstone can only go 15 blocks. So if you say you ran a redstone line 15 blocks and you're like, oh no, it doesn't get powered anymore because it runs out after 15 blocks, you grab a repeater and it will basically continue that line on like so. It will make the signal strength back to 15 here, but it also adds 1 tick a delay, so you can also delay between when their output. So if we have no redstone here, if we have no repeater there, it's instant, it turns instantly on. But when we have one of these here, it takes 1 tick for the line to turn on. See that tad of delay between powering this and powering that? There's just 1 tick of delay. That's the only problem. So next off we have the dropper, which you can put entities in there and it will drop its entity form. So with these seeds, it will drop it as an entity form, and droppers are actually random. So you can have, let's say, this here, and you'll place it in, so it goes like this, in this order. Drop it. It won't give the exact order, it will drop it randomly. See? It has no pattern to how it works. You just drop the blocks randomly, just like that, so it makes great for a random pattern. Next we have the dispenser, which can actually dispense things like water, like so. And then when you power it again, it'll actually suck it back in. So when it's powered like that, it actually empties the bucket. And then we power it again. There we go. So thank you everyone for watching, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to turn on notifications for when the videos come out. I'll be posting some more redstone videos very soon on this channel, because this will be a constant thing, redstone series. That will be really good to have. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great day, and tell your friends about the video, and thank you. See you in the next one.